Fair enough. You've talked a lot about sort of the broader scope, the context of all this, the commercial space sector, and you come from the business world. So I wonder, Jared, if you can talk a little bit about, will there be a self-sustaining space economy at some point, do you think? Because right now, there's so much is reliant on NASA and on the government. But at what point do we get to that point where there is a self-sustaining space economy, and people are doing more frequently the kinds of things that you're doing right now?
Yeah, it's so incredible to think about. First of all, I'm 100% convinced there will be. I just can't exactly point to you in any one specific direction right now because it's so early days. I mean, literally, for 60 years of human spaceflight history, the first time that you didn't have a world superpowers presence in orbit was just last year, with Inspiration 4 going up. So that was the first step, where it became, slightly more affordable that you could open up space to potentially commercial industry. It still has obviously a long way to come down, but the thing is, it will. You have a lot of competition right now. You have a lot of groundbreaking technology with rapidly reusable rockets, and that's going to progress into something like Starship. And from that point, when you're able to lower the cost to accelerate mass to orbit to such an extent that I think we're heading to, anything is possible. I mean, the best analogy I can make to this is the early days of cell phones. I mean, it was on Wall Street that you had the rich guys with their car phones, and it looked super obnoxious driving down the road. And now you've got like 13-year-olds all over the world with cell phones and all sorts of apps, and it's completely. I mean, you have how many billion-dollar businesses right now? $100 billion businesses that were created predominantly on mobile applications that nobody could have ever imagined in the 1980s when you had car phones. And think about all the good it's done for the world right now. I mean, you've got unrest all over the world. You have real humanitarian crises. You have natural disasters where people are capturing these things on their cell phones, making it available to the world. It's bringing help. It's bringing attention to some of these issues. It's probably saving lives. It's certainly saving lives. So where we are today is just the very beginning. It is like the very beginning of the second space age right now. And where we go 5, 10, 15 years from now, especially when total game-changing technology like Starship comes online, is hard to predict, but it will be something. There's just too much we don't understand out there. We've really just begun in space. Like we've just touched a toe in the water, of something that's like this many times the size of the ocean. I mean, it's incredible when you think about it.